Createful kids. Today we're going to paint palm tree silhouettes. And don't forget to get your lesson plan that goes along with this art lesson. And in it, we learn about symmetry, balance, and positive and negative space. It's just a simple little lesson that kids can do. And then they have a little exercise they can do at the end where we talk about what we learned. You can find a link to this lesson plan in the description below, or you can click right here. Right there. Okay. Let's get started. We have over here what supplies that you'll probably find at school. And over here, supplies that you might find at home. All you need is some cardstock or some construction paper, because I know you'll have that. But if you have a canvas, you can use that as well. What we need to have is some acrylic paint, and we just need red, blue, yellow, black, and white. And I want you guys to get creative by choosing the colors that you want for your sky. Okay? So if you want it pink or purple, you're going to want to mix blue to make a purple with your red. Okay, and if you want a more orangey sky, you're going to want to mix yellow with your red. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mix your first colors that you want, and you want this to be a darker color, okay? Because we're going to start here at the top and start here at the bottom. So you're going to want your darkest color to be at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to make a purple color.
Same with me. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, and I'm just trying to find the color I want. And then what I'm going to do is take my water here and get some on my big fat brush. Okay, see, that's the purple that I'm going to make with that red and that blue. So you want to do that first. Ready?
Yep.
Grab your big fat wide brush. You can put that in there.
Get some water on it.
Yep.
And then...
Okay, and then you're going to grab that color. And don't worry, you can mix on your paper here too. Okay, and then you're going to go on the bottom here and just spread that from side to side. See how I did that?
Whoa.
Yep. Now take it, same color, and go up here. Side to side. You might have to get more color on your brush. Side to side.
Okay, to smooth this out. I've done this before, so for me, it's
You do a lot of art, huh? Okay.
voila.
So now we're going to get a little bit lighter, okay? So you want to grab some of your white here. Okay, now we want to lighten it up. So we're going to take our light color and go from side to side. Ooh, we need more water on our brush.
Need more water on my brush too.
Okay, and see how that lightens it up? You see that line right there? You just want to soften that line as we go down. Okay, and then come down and do the exact same thing on the other side.
Let me add a little bit white.
You see how there's a dark strip right there? We don't want that. That's not symmetrical. No.
No symmetrical right there.
Just get some more white on there.
Symmetrical
Spread
is like
it.
what a butterfly is. Butterflies are symmetrical.
Right.
One side of them is the same as the other side.
Right.
That's what it means.
Okay.
If you were wondering.
If you're what?
If you were wondering.
Yeah. If you were wondering. Okay, you ready to lighten it up? Some more?
A little bit.
Okay.
This is as far as I got.
Ooh, I like how dark yours is on the top and the bottom.
Is it too dark?
There is no two. You just make it what you want.
Oh,
As far as your sky, you
than
can be creative. When you put down your palm tree silhouettes, they're not going to stand out as much as mine, just because of the contrast, but it's whatever you want. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some of this yellow, and I'm going to add some yellow right through here.
Okay.
And then on the other side, I'm going to add some yellow. So I just kind of turn my brush. So yellow here and yellow here.
Little more white.
That makes it look symmetrical.
And the last finishing touch.
Okay.
And then I have my yellow.
Yep. And I would like a little bit of orange in mine, so I'm going to take some yellow and some red and some white because I don't want it super orange. And I'm just going to add a little orange above that.
Ooh, Mom,
And a
yours
little
is
orange
pretty.
down here. Thank you, so is yours.
Thank you.
And to lighten things up, you can always just add white,
Little bit of tiny bit of yellow.
whatever you want.
Little bit of tiny bit of yellow. Why do I have that? Now I'm gonna have blue in my sky.
Okay.
That's weird. Why is there gonna be blue in my sky? That's weird. No, actually, that's normal. But
So we're ready for the next step, and that's our little island we're going to put right in the middle. Okay, so grab your round brush.
okay.
Now you want your island to be one of these darker colors, okay? So you don't want it to be black. You want it to be purple or blue, okay?
Dark purple.
Yeah, like a dark purple. And you're gonna start over here on the left, and you're gonna want it to be a little bit bigger on the left, and then it reaches into the middle. So just kind of draw a line with your brush and make it get smaller by lifting the pressure on your brush as you get closer to the center. Okay, and the trick with the island is that it's flat on the bottom, and on the top there's, you know, hills and stuff. So you want to have that flat line on the bottom. You just push down a little bit and then lift up as you get close to the center. Okay, see how the island works? Okay, and then you're going to want to take your brush and get off some of your color. Add a little water to your brush. Okay, and you're going to be making the reflection. You ready for the reflection?
Yeah.
Yours kind of already has a little bit of the reflection. See how this is dark right here? So all you have to do is just kind of blend this and then bring it to the edge. So here's my reflection, and I'm leaving just a little bit of the yellow. That's how I'm going to do it.
I didn't have any yellow.
It's okay. And then bring it, getting lighter and skinnier at the edge. Okay, there's the reflection. And that's all you need to do. That's pretty easy, huh? So now wash out your brush. Okay,
White.
so you can make your sun as big as you want. Okay, so you're gonna go up above your island, right in the middle of your paper here. And you're gonna move your brush in a circle motion, okay? You wanna have plenty of white on your brush and move in a circle. Okay, and then fill it in, and it's gonna take a couple of layers of the white. Good. So we'll come back to that and let that dry a little bit. And then right below the sun where the water is, see that? You're going to draw with your brush a white line. Okay, this is the reflection of the sun on the water. Now you kind of go from back and forth, leaving little gaps between each. And then the gaps get further as you get closer down the page. Okay, but you want to get it all the way down the page just like a line. Okay, so I kind of just make a line like that. See how I just kind of was like random there, but it got really small. So this is wider and this is smaller. And I can come back in here and make it wider if I want.
Da.
Yep, and that's the reflection. So grab your small brush, clean it, dry it off. Grab yourself some black paint, and I like to put this on a separate plate or in a cup, especially at schools. And a little cup helps with a lid on it. Okay, so you're going to get black on your brush, and you're going to just make this line down here, okay, that goes across, but it doesn't have to be a perfect line, so make sure that you have some bumps and things, and I'm going to make it go down a little bit on one side to give it more interest. Okay, because this is the sand.
Why is
So a
sand
perfect
black?
line across will make it look like it's a cartoon. So just paint it in, fill it in.
I never knew sand could be black.
Yeah, it's just because it's really dark, so it's a silhouette, which we talk about in the lesson plan. You guys done too? Let's move on to the next step. Okay, all we need to do is we need to draw a curved line that goes up. So it's going to curve in, and then it's going to come up, 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 and curve the other direction. And then it's going to get skinnier as we come out to the top here. Okay. Okay. And how we make it skinnier is we just lift off of our brush. Now watch how I'm going to make it thicker by pushing down on my brush. See how I leave that skinny up there, and then I come back on this other side and I'm going to thicken it. Whoa, I really thickened it right there. And then I just fill it in right here. Okay? You can always perfect your lines by just using the edge of your brush to move out a little bit.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Okay, the next side is going to be a little bit shorter, so it's going to stop about right here. So I like to just mark where that's at. Okay, and the reason being is we don't want these palm trees to be identical. I'm going to start skinny at the top. Okay, and curve down, get closer to this right side edge, curve it, and then I'm going to start pushing down on my brush, and it gets really fat, really fat. The more I push, fatter it gets. Okay, and then I just come in here and I curve it at the bottom. Curve it like that. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pretend like there's little coconuts up here because it fills in the center. So I just go in a circle motion, making 1, 2, 3 coconuts right next to each other. And then on this one, 1, 2, 3 coconuts.
Coconut and 3.
Okay, now we're going to make the fronds, and they are curved on the top. So I like to make little spider legs coming out, and I just make a line, come out.
Ooh, that looks like spider legs.
A line, come out. A line, come out. Make sure you don't go over your sun, okay? So leave a big gap right here so that your sun doesn't get covered. Line, line, line. See how it looks like spiders?
Spiders.
Like that.
Those are
Okay, then I come over here and I do the same thing. Make a line. Okay, make a line. Hear the train outside. Line. We're going to hear more of the train, huh? Because it's starting to get nice outside. And see how ours looks different? It's really fun how that happens. Everybody's is going to look different. Okay, now at the bottom of these, you just kind of make little lines like this. See? And then you get skinny. You make sure that the tips of them stay skinny. Okay? So you just go on the bottom and you make sure that the top is always round. Okay, and that's what they look like. So keep that skinny and then get thicker.
What if people know that's what they look like?
And see how I'm going in a downward motion? See how it's, and I'm keeping it about the same on the bottom, like it's a line, but it makes it jaggedy.
If somebody's watching this,
This one I'm going to go this direction. Okay, what, Katie?
if you're watching this and you're in Hawaii, you are lucky.
Yeah. points. See how I go in a downward motion?
Yeah.
And I'm not worrying about it being super perfect. I'm letting those gaps between it, see I kind of skip over some. And sometimes there's, you know, bigger blobs like that. It's okay, because in nature that's what happens. Okay, just take your time if you need to. Make sure you fill in this center part. So this one's a little tricky. I'm just going to go down like this because it's going down. And this one I'm going to go this direction. And this one's easy. Just down. And then get smaller at the tip. Okay. Alright. And that's it. All you need to do is sign your work, and you can do that with a pencil, a pen, or your paint. And then you let that dry. And because we put tape around the edges, it's going to make a nice little natural frame. And this is going to fit in an 8x10 frame, so we can always cut off these edges. But at school, we don't have a whole lot of money to buy frames, so this makes a nice little already natural frame for teachers, so they don't have to buy extra frames or stick this up on another piece of paper. It looks beautiful! Here's our palm tree silhouettes. We hope you had fun. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below and tell us what you think about this art lesson. And be sure to subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time for another art lesson. Bye!